You've probably had some experience working with square roots and radicals or finding the square root of a number. In this lesson, we're going to look at nth roots, which is a number root. And we're going to be looking at rational exponents, which basically are a combination of finding an nth root and then a power. So basically, I'm not going to go over the information listed right here. We're going to look at actually applying things, but do understand if a number is odd or the root that we're looking for is odd, there would be one root. So if the root were even, we would have a plus and minus. So if you look at the square root of, which square root is 2, so it's even, of 4, you have two numbers that would possibly multiply to equal 4, negative 2 and 2. Um, if the root you're looking for is 0, the answer is going to be 0. And if the root you're looking for is less than 0, you would actually end up with what are called imaginary numbers that you learn about later on in high school algebra or college algebra. We won't deal with that in this course. All right. So I'm not going to expect you to be able to do this without using a calculator. So what this first problem A says is we're looking for the third root of negative 27. So if we have a third root, we know we can use a negative number. If we have an even numbered root, we couldn't have a negative number under the radical. So we're going to be using the second function of this key on the calculator. So if I were to put this into the calculator, I would put 3, and then I would push the second function, and then I would push the button that looks like that, which is the nth root button, and then I would push negative 27, and on our calculators in school the negative button is down here, and I would end up with negative 3 for an answer. Likewise, for problem B, we have the fourth root of 16. So would we go 4? Again, the second button, the inverted V or triangle or angle, and we go 16. The calculator is only going to give you the answer 2, but negative 2 would also be an answer. Alright, so I'm not going to go through the keystrokes for the other two problems down here. We're looking for the third root of negative 125. Anytime you have something ending in 5, it's more likely that the root you're going to find is going to be 5. And it is negative 5 because of the negative. Alright, and finally, we're looking for the sixth root of 64. That is equal to 2, and because it's even, it's also equal to negative 2. You can use the symbolism plus or minus 2 on any even root and just abbreviate that. So here we're going to look for some more. We're going to look for the third root of negative 8 with problem A. And The third root of negative a is going to be negative 2, or negative 8 is going to be negative 2. The second problem, problem B, is looking for the third root of 8 and then making it negative. The third root of 8 is 2, and then making it negative is negative 2. So we come up with the same answer in different ways. If you see a fraction listed as the exponent, the number in the denominator is the root that you're looking for. So 16 to the 1/4 power is looking for the fourth root of 16. The fourth root of 16 is plus or minus 2. The situation here is not possible because we cannot find a fourth root of a negative number. Those do not exist. So remember, if we're looking for an even root of something that's below 0, it's not possible. So I'm going to go no solution. Again, I mentioned earlier that there are ways to work around that. So we're going to look at rational exponents now. Rational exponents they're basically a fraction, which again is going to show that same type of thing. So here we have 16 to the 3/4 exponent. That is the same as this. So we're going to put it in parentheses. We're going to put a radical fourth root of 16, and then it's going to be to the third power. So we can type this into the calculator exactly as it is. We can use the parenthesis signs. So we could go parenthesis, again 4, second function, that key there, 16, close our parenthesis, and then use this same key without the second function and put in 3. What we're going to end up with is our answer is going to be 8. The fourth root of 16 is plus or minus 2, and then cubing that is going to give you 8. I guess we could have plus or minus 8 on this, but I think 8 will be a good enough answer for what we're doing. So we look at the next problem, 27 to the 4/3. So again, it's going to be the third root of 27 to the 4th power. The third root of 27 is 3, and 3 to the 4th power is equal to 81. Alright, so we're going to have some expressions. This one we've already done before. Third root of 125, negative 125, is going to be negative 5. Here we're looking for the third root of negative 64 and then squaring it. The third root of negative 64 is negative 4. When we square that, our answer is going to be 16. Negative times a negative is positive. Here we have just the square root. I don't have to put a 2 there. I just use the radical by itself. The square root of 9 to the 5th power. And the square root of 9 to the 5th power is going to be 81 times 3, which is 243. And finally, the last problem here, we're going to have the fourth root of 256 raised to the third power. The fourth root of 256 is 4. 4 times 4 times 4 is 64. Again, just having a little bit of memory of what some certain patterns are is helpful, but I don't expect you to memorize all of the roots or anything like that. That's why we have calculators. If you are not available, if you're not in the classroom or not able to use one of the calculators in the classroom, you can find several online calculators that will work, and some of your phone calculators will work if you have them in landscape mode. The keys may look different and you might have to experiment with how they work, but you can make things working anyway.